Well, it has been a very interesting week. We had the presidential election, and it seems like the Trump effect is in full effect. We'll kind of break that video down that has went viral. We have a judge presiding over the YSL case actually saying the N-word. Was it on accident? Was it too natural? Or are people blowing this out of proportion? I'll let you guys be the judge. And on top of that, we have Joe Biden seemingly getting a firmware update where he is totally fine and able to fully function and speak about everything without any hiccups or incidents. You guys let me know what you guys think about that. But first, we're going to take a look at the YSL judge N-word situation.
Boy, you still drinking? Where you at? I gotta do it for Boo. These niggas lacking.
Before we broke for lunch, we were hashing through a bunch of Instagram conversations, and I was reading one out loud and basically saying it as my eyes were going over it for the first time ever. And
I'm just gonna say this real quick. Anytime I read a book and I see a curse word, because not a lot of books, unless you're reading like erotica or, you know, Grey's Anatomy or something like that, you're not really prepared to see a F word or an N word or anything like that. And she just read it like too naturally, but I'll give you guys my real thoughts at the end.
And just reading whatever was on the paper, and I read out the word N-I-G-G-A-S, which,
oh my God.
I hope that that was not offensive to anyone.
It hurt my feelings.
Not meant to be offensive to anyone.
It hurt my feelings.
I used that word.
I might.
And it was merely, I should have been looking first.
In all honesty, I think that regardless of what ethnicity, you have a job to do. And this, you can't be childish and be like, hey, you know, this word is something that was only used by a certain demographic. If you're in the court of law, you're going to have to use certain derogatory remarks that have to do with any ethnicity. That is my take on this position. I think honestly, you know, as a judge, I do believe that, hey, you should have screened this before saying it out loud. And also with no pause is a little bit questionable to me. There was no like, okay, hey guys, prepare yourselves. I am going to say a certain word because it is a part of my job to put this to record, right? But there was no pause. To me, I think that if somebody's offended to it, honestly, I don't know why. You know, it's not like she used it in a derogatory way. I think that honestly, she probably, you know, allegedly probably uses this, you know, in the background. To me, it's not a huge deal, but I could see how people are affected by it. But to me, is, you know, you put a lot of kind of power to a word that should have been dropped, should have been moved on. Next, we're going to go ahead and take a look at President Biden. Concurrently, he's still president. I know. Seems like he's super sharp and fine for some reason. And shout out to Bow Tied Mara, who has this post that was posted on the 7th that is going absolutely viral. Let's check it out.
Yeah, it's good to see you all. Particularly good to see my granddaughter sitting in the front row here.
Now, I'm just going to say this. Of course, I mean, I wouldn't say he probably, but he knows his granddaughter. But remember, he messed up a 14-year-old girl, I believe, allegedly, even though it's right there. I have to say everything's alleged. But he messed up seeing a 14-year-old girl as a college student. So let's just put that out there. But of course, this is his granddaughter, so familiar.
Hey, Finn, how are you, honey? For over 200 years, America has carried on the greatest experiment in self-government in the history of the world. Okay. That's not hyperbole, that's a fact. We're the people. The people vote and choose their own leaders, and they do it peacefully. And we're in a democracy.
Now, I'm just going to say this. I hate to pause it, but of course, I got to put my input. The strange fact that there's no hiccups, there's no pauses, there's no blinking. He used to like blink and stutter quite a bit. What has happened? What's going on?
Democracy. The will of the people always prevails. Yesterday, I spoke with President-elect Trump to congratulate him on his victory, and I assured him that I'd direct my entire administration to work with his team to ensure a peaceful and orderly transition. That's what the American people deserve. Yesterday, I also spoke with Vice President Harris.
On top of that, you know, he broke down President-elect Trump. Right, he did mess up with President Putin at one time, calling President, Putin the president, that's kind of crazy. I know people blew that out of the water, but he's going to continue to get things right.
She's been a partner and a public servant. She ran an inspiring campaign, and everyone got to see something that I learned early on to respect so much: her character. She has a backbone like a ramrod. She has great character, true character.
I would not have said that.
She gave her whole heart and effort, and she and her entire team should be proud of the campaign they ran.
Okay, so I'm going to leave it there, but it's very strange that, President Biden concurrent is just making complete sense. No issues, no hiccups. He does have a teleprompter, but regardless, he's had many teleprompters. I'm not too sure if he rehearsed this and so he's able to get it down. I like to play devil's advocate, but we also on top of that have a huge supporter of Kamala Harris and making a new song. I'll play it for you guys. Give me 1 second. Okay, here we go.
I'm sorry. No. Why?
I think this is like a screamo. I'm pretty sure.
Why? Do you really hate me that bad?
I mean, she was spitting, and not bars. I'm saying that she was absolutely spitting. And no, it's not a song. I know, to a lot of people's amazement, it was just her breaking down after Trump being elected president. So, all right, let's move on to the main event. Okay, so this video has been going absolutely viral. I already shouted out the individual. I'll have the link down below, but Trump effect is insane. Let's go ahead and check it out.
Donald Trump's not even president yet. Have you seen what's happened in the last 48 hours?
What I'm going to be doing is giving you guys the facts behind what he's saying.
The misogynist appoints the first ever woman to be chief of staff.
Okay, let's go ahead and check this out. Is this true? So this is from Time, and meet Susie Wiles, the incoming Trump appointed White House chief of staff. And so this is a brief history, then we got a video, and we'll keep going with the main event. Wiles has a long history working for Republican politicians and their campaigns. The 67-year-old has a decades-long history as a Republican strategist and campaign staffer. She worked under the late former New York Rep Jack Kemp back in the 1970s before working on Ronald Reagan's 1980 presidential campaign. She went on to work for Jacksonville Mayor John Delaney and John Payton. Wiles became a well-respected and well-versed strategist in campaign in Florida, running Senate Rick Scott's successful campaign for governor of the state in 2010. So we're going to watch a video briefly on the matter. And so we're going to start here. And again, Susie Wiles. This is a confirmed fact that that guy was spitting facts in that video so far.
Thank you, Chris. Well, she could become the most powerful woman in Washington, D.C. during President-elect Donald Trump's second term. But you may have never heard of her. Our political reporter Jeff Allen is joining us now with more on the President-elect's choice as his chief of staff. Jeff, Susie Wiles, she is no stranger to many of us here in Florida.
And Tammy, while she might not be a household name, she's been involved in Florida politics for decades now. She was influential in the election of Governors Rick Scott and Ron DeSantis, and now the re-election of Donald Trump to the presidency.
As the first pick of his new administration, President-elect Donald Trump is tapping Susie Wiles, a co-chair of his successful campaign, as his White House chief of staff. She will be the first woman to serve in that role.
Let me just pause it right here. That jacket is nice. Anything leather, I love it. But I don't know. That room has to be like cool, because to wear a leather jacket inside and it's hot, something wrong with you.
Those who know her describe her as a steady hand behind the scenes, not someone who wants to be in the spotlight, which was apparent during this moment in Trump's victory speech earlier this week.
Susie likes to stay in the background. She's not in the background.
Wiles managed Rick Scott's successful campaign for governor in 2010 and Ron DeSantis' successful campaign for governor in 2018.
All right, so we kind of went over that, but that's going to be the video here. If you guys want to check out the full thing, it'll be down below. Let's get back to the main event.
It's the first ever woman to be chief of staff. The Taliban announced they want peace with America.
Okay, so the Taliban saying they want peace with America. So I got a article about that. So again, with the Time, they've been killing it, but how world leaders are reacting to Trump winning the U.S. presidential election. So if we go down to Afghanistan, in a statement posted on X, the Taliban-led Foreign Ministry of Afghanistan said it hopes that the incoming U.S. administration will adopt a pragmatic approach to ensure tangible advancement in bilateral relations, allowing both nations to open a new chapter of relations grounded in mutual engagement. The Trump administration signed a peace deal in 2020 with the Taliban to end the war in Afghanistan after the U.S. military withdrawal in 2021. The group swooped into power, but its rule over the country has not been recognized by the U.S. So honestly, would I say that saying peace, I say that there's a little bit of movement to that. They're saying, hey, it looks like we might have a line. We might not want to mess with, Trump's current administration, so we might cool it. So I would say I'll give him a point there. I'll give him a point. Let's keep going.
America and to be taken off the terrorist list. Putin came out and said that Western civilization is not an enemy.
All right, so he said Western civilization is not an enemy. Let's check that. Okay, so we're back at time, and at the International Forum of, I don't know how to say that, on Thursday, President Vladimir Putin congratulated Trump on his election victory and praised him for his courage after the assassination attempt in July. His behavior at the moment of the attempt on his life left an impression on me, Putin said. He turned out to be a brave man. That's dang. The strongman Russian leader also said that he'd be willing to call Trump to discuss a rebuilding Russia-U.S. relation and facilitating an end to the war in Ukraine. But when asked what to expect from an incoming Trump administration, Putin said, I don't know what will happen now. I have no idea. Dmitry Peskov, a Kremlin spokesperson, earlier said, according to Russian media, that he did not know if Putin had any plans to congratulate Trump, who had made some quite harsh statements about Russia during his campaign. Peskov called the U.S. an unfriendly country that is directly and indirectly involved in war against our state. He said whether Putin ultimately congratulated or not would likely not matter much. It is practically impossible to worsen things further. Relations are at their historical lowest point. Russia Foreign Ministry also issued a statement. We have no illusion about the president-elect, who is well known in Russia or new Congress, where Republicans have reportedly won control. The U.S. ruling political elite adheres to anti-Russia principles and the policies of containing Moscow. This line does not depend on change in America. Oh my goodness, this ad keeps on shuffling. America's domestic political barometer. No matter if it is Trump and his supporters, America above all, or the Democrats, focus on rules-based world order. So I don't give that to him. I don't give that one to him. Okay, let's keep going.
Mexico has started securing the border in, of course, response to tariff threats.
Okay, so of course tariff threats, and then Mexico and the border. Okay, to that, that is correct. Mexico migrants caravan shrinks after Trump victory. I don't think that, of course, they locked the wall and everything, but it has sent a little bit of I guess we might not have an opportunity. We have a few pictures here. A man laying, a migrant in a caravan sleeps under a shade of a tree before moving on his way to the U.S. border. So he's actually moving towards it. There's a lot of individuals sleeping out here, and you got kids and everything like that. But of course, they believe that U.S., of course, they let so many over that they might have a chance. But let's go ahead and get back to I give them that one.
Saudi Arabia is kicking out all of their Hamas leaders. New York is cleaning up their illegal migrant crisis. Xi Jinping came out and said he wants to peacefully coexist with.
A lot of these things, of course, they are not properly worded, as we're seeing here, but overall we're seeing a lot of individuals kind of act a certain way. I won't discredit that point, but I'm gonna let them cook for the rest of it, and I'll give you guys my thoughts at the end.
China and said that they respect American people. The European Union chief finally came out and said, hey America, can we start buying LNG from you so they stop buying from Russian gas? Putin says he takes Donald Trump's plan to end the war with Ukraine very seriously and Russia supports it.
Again, we read that one. That's a little bit of an iffy thing. That's an iffy area.
Houthis are stepping back. The Hamas called for an immediate end to war. He's calling for term limits in from Congress so that way people like Nancy Pelosi stop being forever members.
Yeah, that one I didn't. I only did a few of them, but that'll be interesting. Nancy Pelosi definitely in the stock market. She been sitting in that seat with that money. That money moving inside and allegedly inside her,
Stock markets and crypto hit all-time highs.
That's true.
He sent Kamala Harris and Hillary Clinton into depression.
That's wrong. That's just wrong. Why they do? Why that photo, man?
Because of all of this amazing.
If you voted for Trump, I refuse. Oh my gosh, yeah. So we'll make another video with that. But man,
news: white liberal ugly women are now refusing to have sex with men. America is in fact being made great again.
Here's my take on this. I do have to say, I'm on the side of making my pockets as fat as possible. With whatever administration, as long as my money's right, I'm good. Some people might have a problem with that, but at the end of the day, you can't buy bread without bread. Dang, I don't even know if I made a bar right there. Just let me know. Was I spitting like that Democratic girl that was just going off in the car? Just let me know. I don't know. But honestly, let's go ahead and break down the YSL presiding judge saying the N-word. Again, I think that this word, of course, originated from something that was a derogatory mark against African Americans, or at the time, blacks, Negroes, however you wanted to say it, right? And so I could see how this might affect people, but how many times are we going to allow a word to preside and have this much power if we are saying it to one another? At this point, like sometimes Mexicans can say it. Sometimes even I don't even know. Just it's just very strange, the rules upon using this word. Obviously, the judge wasn't using it as a derogatory mark. I do find it that the way she was reading it was kind of like, dang, okay, she putting a little twang to it. And it's probably not her first time saying it, allegedly. When it comes down to Joe Biden, I think it's very strange that he had no hiccups. He did have a teleprompter. He might have rehearsed it. But overall, he's still president. And if he had to drop out the race, why is he still fit to be president? That is a question. A lot of people brought it up with Harris, like, okay, hey, we're going to fix this. We're going to fix this. A lot of people were like, hey, why don't you do it now? Because you already have the current administration, right, in the office. That is a valid question. Again, I think that a better rebuttal would have said, hey, President Biden and I, we align with a lot of things, but some things I want to change that's not too far off, but I would have total control. Obviously, I'm vice president. That would have been a better way to do it, but she kind of stepped over it a very weird way. When it comes down to the Trump effect, it's no denying that a lot of these facts are lining up, that pretty much a lot of individuals fear the current administration, especially having a Republican sweep. We're looking forward to a very interesting next 4 years. We'll see how it goes. My job overall is to give you guys the news and the facts. Of course, if you like to run with a title and that's it, or a video without doing your due diligence and finding it out, I don't think this channel is going to be for you. We dig into the ups and downs, and obviously, as an American, our primary focus should be the economy. I mean, the dollar is not stretching anywhere as far as it used to. On top of that, the U.S. debt is just astronomically insane. So these are the things that should have been talked about and enhanced upon, but we were distracted by name calling and whatnot. So I would be very interested to see how we move within the U.S. and how Donald Trump, as he takes office, next year, how he's going to implement, what policies will he put in. The next video will kind of cover a lot of what we just saw, the girl spazzing out. And something that this individual had mentioned was, you know, a lot of people are saying unfriend me if you voted for so and so, which is every 4 years this post actually gets created on Facebook, and I'm like, I don't even use this app. We don't even talk. It's crazy how people like make a choice and it's getting worse and worse. Like at this point, it's like, man, I made a choice that, you know, I thought it was gonna benefit me, and you can't. I don't know, it's kind of crazy. Nobody can have a freedom of speech, freedom of thought. Everybody's got to align with one person, and that's it. You know, you lose family, you lose things. Again, I'm on the side that is going to allow the economy for me to thrive and for others to thrive, and to get the American dream, because it once was that, okay, hey, we're free, you know, because of my skin tone, but yet now, you know, everybody had the opportunity to buy a house. I mean, now it's just like, hey, if you want to buy a house, you might as well have $50,000 or $100,000, determining on where you live. I mean, rent is astronomically just crazy. Even for a slum, it's just like $2,000. I mean, I'm being facetious when I say that, but it's kind of insane. So if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and I will catch all of you guys in the next one. And you know, I'll see you, like I said, in the next one.